What's up YouTube? Today I thought I'd do a video on this Mauser production P38. You can see the BYF that designates that Mauser produced it, and underneath you can see the 44 designating it was made in 1944. If you look on the other side of the firearm, you can still see parts of the original markings. You can see that German eagle, but there's a Russian star stamped on top of it, which means it was a Russian capture. But I'm glad that at least the marking is still kind of there. It paints a kind of a cool picture to me. So I did get this thing for a pretty good price, but it did come with some problems. The decocker safety under recoil would partially engage, prohibiting the firearm from going off. It happened very frequently, about 2 to 3 times a magazine. I ended up replacing the whole safety because just replacing the plunger and the spring didn't correct the issue. So I ended up just replacing the whole thing, and that fixed the problem. Another issue we were having was with the magazine. Alright, so the first round, probably not going to chamber properly. See, it's been doing that pretty consistently. Just pull it back a little bit, it's seated, chambered. Now, I cannot remember the brand of the magazine off the top of my head, but I'll put something up there. But I got this reproduction magazine to put in. Not only does it disengage a little bit better, because the other one would hang up on that heel release, but it also feeds better. The original would jam the first and the last round, whereas this one, it feeds them all pretty reliably. Now, the issue that I haven't been able to figure out how to correct is the front sight. Now, I did not put this front sight on, but you can tell it's not the original sight. Every time we go to the range, I have to tap it back and forth just to keep it on, and there's no way I can tell you guys what the accuracy is of this thing because the sight keeps moving around. Every magazine, it moves just a little bit to the point where your shots are all over the place. So I'm not entirely sure how to fix that. If you want to put something down in the comments for me to try, I would love to hear your suggestion. But I do kind of like this firearm. If I had to say something really cool, the slide release just feels amazing to me. Actually, my thumb just goes right to it. It feels pretty ergonomic. The heel release isn't bad. It takes some getting used to after you're used to a button style mag release. Hitting the decocker safety is very easy for me. It's a little uncomfortable, but I'm not a big fan of decocker safeties. One thing I didn't know about this firearm is these grips are metal. I don't know. Every time I looked at them, I always thought they were plastic. The P1s were plastic and had a aluminum frame, but I always thought that these were like bake-like grips. But no, these are actually metal stamped grips. But it is a matching numbers gun, but you can tell that there's been some replaced parts like that sight that doesn't want to work. I put this decocker safety on. I'm keeping the original, but when I'm going to go at the range, might as well put the new one on. But everything else seems to be matching. So disassembly of this firearm is pretty simple. You lock the slide back. If the magazine's in it, take it out. There's a lever right here, pull down, and I always put it on safe, so it just pops right off. Now the frame is completely disassembled for basic cleaning, and then the barrel comes right out. You just push this little button at the back and it pops right out. Putting it back in, just as simple. You just want to line it up, push down that little piece right here. Get the frame. You always want to line up the rails. And then this little guy is going to get in your way, so you gotta watch out for that. Pull it back, lock it, take it off safety if you want, and it's back together. This firearm did come with a holster. I really am disappointed because at first I was like, oh, is that original? And as I started looking at it, I was like, you know, it does look kind of nice. And as I talked to people online, they all told me, no, this isn't an original holster. I'm a little sad by that, but it does look the part and it does have the right markings on it. It has a pretty good trigger on it. I actually do like the trigger. The double action's heavy, but smooth. And the single action is just pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to bring this thing back out. I would love to do a more in-depth review and talk more about the history of this firearm, but it's going to be after I figure out how to fix that front sight. Stay tuned, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up in the future.